So if you go to salon.com and type in Sargon of Akkad, you get this. An article in which I am tagged as a topic. And unsurprisingly, it's about PewDiePie. And unsurprisingly, they're not happy with him. Let's have a look. How PewDiePie fudged the labels to avoid anti-Semitism claims. Oh, shut up. Because of his YouTube videos. The comedian's claims of innocence are only fooling the already converted. Yes, he is actually a secret neo-Nazi. That's it. He's actually a staff writer for the Daily Stormer, according to Salon. But I love these topics. Alt-right, anti-Semitism, Donald Trump, original video PewDiePie, Sargon of Akkad. Love it. But, right, so, this is mildly amusing, to be honest. PewDiePie, the YouTube comedian who made a series of videos of anti-Semitic and pro-Hitler, is now being held accountable for his actions. He made a series of anti-Semitic pro-Hitler videos. Did he? Did he? You know what the funniest thing about all of this is, right? Is that he was using Hitler in a way to explain... I mean, he was using Hitler and the Nazis as the example of the bad thing that YouTube was being, or whatever it was he was satirizing, was being, in order to make the point. That's... I mean, he was... It wouldn't work if he thought positively of Hitler. It just wouldn't work. But anyway, after posting a video for which PewDiePie paid two men to laugh while holding a sign saying "Death to all Jews," a brilliant troll, I have to say, and I'm really tempted to do something similar myself, YouTube has cancelled plans for a second season of his reality series, and Disney severed the ties, as you already know, I'm sure. But this is interesting how the incident is reflective of a broader trend that has emerged over the past few years in the internet's political culture. The alt-right movement has used various internet forums to promote white supremacist belief systems, even as its members insisted their actions weren't motivated by bigotry. Instead, when called out for promoting the marginalization of long-oppressed groups, these members claim to be victims of oppression themselves. Isn't that amazing? That is the lens through which he views all of this. It's either oppressor and oppressed. It can't just be people having opinions. And it can't be jokes either. That's the thing I like the most about this. As if, for a fucking second, PewDiePie is actually promoting neo-Nazism. The reason it is a funny joke is because it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But what I like about this is they quote me like I'm a genuine source. And I really should figure out what Salon.com's numbers are, so I can see how they compare and stack up with my own, because, to be honest with you, I get about 7 million views a month on my main channel, and on this channel, I get about 4 million views a month. And on my my live stream channel, I get about 1 million. So, I mean, that's quite a lot, in all fairness. It's more than I would ever have expected. And I would be interested to know how it stacks up with Salon. But I said in my video about him, he's experiencing exactly the same problem the rest of us are. Said, popular alt-right sympathizer Sargon of Akkad. That's amazing. Hang on. Oh, look. There's popular YouTuber fought back against the alt-right by sending them into racial gay porn. Yeah, why would I do that if I was a sympathizer of the alt-right? That's one of my favourite things, actually. But and you know, if you're a member of the alt-right, I'm not part of your club, and you know this. And it's fine for us to be in concordance against the SJWs, but that's as far as my sympathies go, as I'm sure you're aware. But like I said, he was even wrongly labelled alt-right in this Daily Dot article. I get this all the time. So, never mind. Alt-right sympathizer Sargon of Akkad said in a YouTube video about PewDiePie's incident. And when I say the rest of us, I mean anyone involved in Gamergate, anyone involved in the alt-right, anyone involved in Justice Democrats, which I'm sure is an alt-right project now. Anyone involved in any kind of countercultural movement that is seeking to challenge the narrative hegemony of the progressive left. It's a good statement, actually. I'm quite pleased with that one. The YouTube star has many fans on the white supremacist fringe. Really? There are... Do you think many people many Daily Stormer readers are also watching PewDiePie's videos for the few seconds every 5 or 6 videos he'll make a Nazi joke? Do you think that they're... And again, I've said this before, but if you actually held Hitler up to be some sort of icon, you thought that, genuine political icon, You wouldn't want him being used as a figure of fun, would you? You wouldn't want him being used as a joke. It would surely be offensive to you. I mean, I wouldn't want... I mean, I can't really think of any politicians that I would actually support these days, but I wouldn't want, someone who I liked being used as a figure of fun. I would find that offensive. I mean, why would they want that? But they did rebrand themselves the world's #1 PewDiePie fan site, and that is hilarious. I'm not going to lie. That is genuinely funny. I mean, they know exactly what buttons to push to get people pissy and talking about them. And this is reflected in the Daily Stormer's popularity. It's rocketing up. I mean, in comparison to Salon.com's, which is plummeting, or Wired's, which is plummeting, who also did an article about PewDiePie today, and the Huffington Post, which is plummeting. I mean, it's just... maybe it's something they should just stop reporting on. But I love this. PewDiePie has played the victim in the past when critics expressed concern over racism, such as his penchant for Nazi imagery. Nazi imagery is not inherently racist. Holding up a swastika does not make one a racist. A swastika in and of itself is not a racist symbol. It has to be used in a particular way, because if it's not, you are saying that museums are racist. You are saying that books chronicling what the Nazis did, history books, are racist. You fucking morons. It's about intent. Demonstrating... I mean, if he's using it as a joke, the intent there isn't, you know what, maybe we should kill all the Jews. Maybe we should annex the Sudetenland. Maybe we should invade Poland. Maybe the Slavs are Untermensch. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. Why is that so hard to understand? But, again, this gets good. There are two particularly sinister tactics used by PewDiePie. Sinister tactics used by PewDiePie. I mean, does he really look like a man who's capable of anything sinister? He just seems like a jokester to me. Anyway, and his ilk that needs to be identified. The first is what Al Franken, as a comedian, called the kidding on the square, which is when someone claims to be kidding with an offensive remark, but later it becomes clear he or she also genuinely believes in its offensive content. That's the difference between genuine satire and sincere bigoted comments. That is what the Daily Stormer do. They go out of their way to say things that they know are going to be openly offensive, and they do it for the lols, I'm sure, but also because they genuinely believe it. The idea that PewDiePie genuinely believes this is pretty fucking ridiculous, don't you think? I mean, he's Swedish, he lives in Britain, he seems to be quite left-leaning. I mean, maybe he's becoming a bit more libertarian these days, because he's just like, you know what, fucking do what you like, but he's obviously not part of the far right. He's obviously not a card-carrying neo-Nazi, you morons. But the second tactic can be known as fudging the labels, which is when someone repeatedly caters to the views of individuals with offensive opinions, but distances him or herself from others holding those views. Yes, but he's not catering to those people. He's not catering to the Daily Stormer when he mocks Adolf Hitler. He's not doing that. When he uses Adolf Hitler as an example of the worst thing he can think of, as a joke to say, look, YouTube, you are acting like Hitler, that's not him catering to people who like Hitler. That's him offending them as well, believe it or not. And what, again, it's just ridiculous, right? The individuals he is catering to are people who like humour, shock humour, trashy humour, people who like shitposting, it seems. I mean, I've watched a few of his recent videos, and honestly, they're pretty lolsy, they're pretty shitposty. He just seems to be having a good time with it, which I don't blame him. I mean, there is no serious political message in what he's doing, as far as I can tell. It just seems to be satire. And so, Matthew Rosa, you're wrong, and you're looking at this through what appears to be an incredibly Marxist lens, and you're seeing Nazis where there really aren't any.